Hopefully you can see that. Yes, you can. This is all about some video magic for fundraising, because in my opinion, video is modern magic for business. What you were saying there, Nigel, this is going to key in beautifully. I'm going to show you some tools that you can use to help donors not just choose you, but I think to help stay with you. So this is going to take about 20-25 minutes. Let's lock into it. There's a wave of video coming out there, and it's a big wave. But if you looked at a wave like that, how would you know how big that wave is? Well, you've got to put something on it to give it perspective. And if you put a little surfer, like, oh, that is a big wave. Well, there is a big wave of video coming. So we're going to do a little interactive thing here. You can just do it in the chat. So find your chat box there. There's currently 1 billion hours of video viewed. Do you think it's A, every year, B, every month, or C, every week? Go to the chat box, just put in ABC in there and let me know. Let me know what you think it is, whether it's 1 billion hours every year, every month, every week. All right, I'm not seeing anything coming in the chat box, so I'm guessing that a whole heap of people haven't found their chat boxes yet. Don't worry about that. I'll keep it moving. All right, it's a trick question. It's 1 billion hours of video every day. Well, so said the Wall Street Journal, and this is pre-COVID. So I can't get access to stats at the moment, but it is skyrocketed from there. So just understand, we are now living in a global community that is addicted to the convenience of video, because we're living life on the small screen a whole heap more. So the big question is, how is this going to affect your business, your organization, your fundraising? So over the next 20 minutes or so, I'm going to cover 3 areas. The first area is I want to tell you what's changed out there, because there's a lot that is happening with video and most people don't realize the direction that it's going. Then I want to tell you what's working right now. And then I'm going to give you some specific strategies, 3 of them in fact, that you can implement today if you wanted to. Briefly, a little bit about me. I did have a career as one of the things I did for about a couple of decades, shooting for ABC, BBC, National Geo, some of the big players out there. But when I literally walked away from that and I ended up in front of the camera. And one of the things I did was I had a YouTube channel. It's still there, 30 million views. It's got about 140,000 subscribers. But the reason I tell you that is I want you to clearly understand is I know video intimately from both sides, from in front of the lens and behind the camera. And I want you to know, and this is one of the key things, that everything about being in front of the camera, which is where video is going for fundraising, is that it's all skills and everything can be learned. And I know every fear, every worry, every concern, every anxiety that you might be facing or feeling, and it's all achievable, it's all doable. So I have been doing this whole video thing for a while, about 40 years in fact, and I've seen a whole heap of changes over that time. One of the big changes I've seen is that video has gone from hard to being simple now. Access to knowledge has just gone up. Anything you want to know about video, just go to Google, type it in, you'll find it out. But at the same time, technical difficulty is going down. The artificial intelligence and computational power that you have in your smart devices is amazing. And it's continuing every year to just grow by leaps and bounds. So you've got to understand now that when you're talking about video, that bigger is no longer better. So please understand that brushes don't make the artist and typewriters don't make the writer. And big fancy cameras are not going to make you better videos, not these days. What they'll do is they'll make a different sort of video. And there's going to be always times that you need to outsource videos to professional production crews. You're going to need those. But the bulk of it is going to be a different sort of video that I'm going to unpack here. And you've got to know when to use both, because if you use the wrong one at the wrong time, you're going to counteract the objectives that you're out there to achieve. So please understand, smartphones are video-okay. I've used the best cameras in the world, And the only camera, the only cameras I own, I've got 1, 2, 3 of them. There they are, they're smartphones. It is the future of video. If you don't believe me, here's a little fun thing that you can do. Go and type into Google Chinese New Year shot on iPhone, and you'll get a YouTube video. You're going to need 7 minutes and a box of tissues to watch it. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful little drama that's shot on an iPhone, and it will put to rest any argument that you may have in your head that you don't think smartphones are good enough. Go and knock yourself out with that. So another thing that has happened is video has gone from being made for a mass audience to now being personalized, made to measure video. I love this picture because what it does is it illustrates the way it used to be. All these people around one mouthpiece. If you had the money, you had the power, you had the megaphone, you could put the message out there. Everyone had to listen. This is what it's like nowadays. This is live streaming in China. All individual people and channels wanting to listen to one person's particular message. The whole way that it's being used, video, and the channels that communication channels are being flipped. So we have entered into this new online self-service culture where customers, clients, what we all expect is we expect to find information that's tailored to our particular needs. And as a customer in the consumer buying cycle, 80% of all buying decisions now are made online before you even think about connecting with a human. So video is now an essential part of the whole cycle of transacting with a customer or a client in any way. Videos have gone from being dull. I mean, honestly, I look at some of the stuff I was making 20 years ago. Oh, really? It's a lot sharper and it's a lot more attention getting. But it doesn't have to be gimmicky. When I say attention getting, do you know the best way to get someone's attention? Mention their name. Make a video, send it to them, and mention their name. They will lock in like that. Videos have gone from being rigid, and when I mean rigid, you used to have to go to film school or university, or there was a way you learnt to make film. Now it's real and it's authentic, and there's no rules is the new rule. So it's very liberating. Great time to get into this. And videos were a lot more bloated, a lot longer, and now they just have to be shorter. But I want to go back to that second last one, real. This is one of the key learnings that I really want for you to stick today. We are now in a time where the workplace is being dehumanized by artificial intelligence and big data. So, and you'll know this, you ring up an organization and you end up, you're speaking to a machine. So at the same time, consumer trust in large organizations is going down. Banks have let us down. Churches have let us down. Politicians have let us down. And as that consumer trust in organizations is going down, our trust in each other, in human to human interaction is going up. We trust people more than we trust brands now. And this, you've got to lock into what's going on. This is the zeitgeist out there, because it means you and your people, with all your lumps and your bumps and your wrinkles of your life well lived, are the perfect people to be in front of a customer, a donor, a client, and interact one-on-one with them. And the technology allows that. So when I'm talking about video, this is the key learning. Video is not the secret sauce in the future. You are, humans are, and people are. And if you grasp that and you run with that, you will go leaps and bounds ahead of your competition. So how can you leverage this? All right. All you got to do is ask one question. And it's about, where are you going to use video? How can you use this within your fundraising process? One question you've got to ask: would I be more effective if I looked my customer or colleague in the eye? And if you answer yes to that question into any point of interaction or transaction, then video is perfect, because what video does more than anything, it communicates emotion. It puts emotion and clarity back into communication. I'm going to unpack again some of the ways that you can use that. But there's a big paradox here. There's a number of paradoxes with video, but this is the one. The barrier to this shift to digital communication right across organizations, there's so many ways we have to do it. The shift to digital, the barrier is not technological. The shift is people. The barrier is people. People are resistant to change. So if you are having conversations about using new technologies and those conversations are focused on the technology, I respectfully suggest to you, you are having the wrong conversation, because the technologies are easy now. They're becoming more and more user-friendly. Push a button, get somebody to set it up for you. You need to focus on shifting and making a cultural shift in people's ability to embrace change. So where could you use video across your business or your organization? Well, look at this. I mean, there is a ton of places right there. You could be using them all, straight away. But I'm going to give you a couple of better suggestions, because honestly, you can, we've got off here today, within an hour, you can be using video. So what I'm going to give you now are 3 low risk and low cost ways that you can start conversations, you can start building relationships. And, it doesn't have to be immediate and back and forth, but over a period of time, like building out a funnel, you can build these relationships using video. So let's just look at what a traditional sales cycle is first. It's normally, somebody makes an inquiry, you get an email in, or somebody makes a phone call, it's a bit of back and forth, a few of those, get on the phone a couple of times, and finally you make a calendar date, and then you do a face-to-face meeting with someone. You spend 3 hours of your day going and getting parking, wrong coffee shop, and you go and you have your meeting, and you do business with people like, and trust. That's the whole point of the face-to-face meeting. And hopefully, if the services and the needs are a match, you're going to do a transaction at the end. Video sales cycles are completely different. What video does is it puts the face-to-face conversation right up towards the head of the sales cycle. It shortens sales cycles, and this is one of the superpowers of video. So here's the first way that you can use it: the email signature video. So you all send an email, and down the bottom you've got your signature block. It's very easy to create a simple little video that you embed into your email. And you do it because you can't actually put a video into emails. The technologies were never built to do that. But you can create what's called a GIF, a GIF. Don't worry how to do it. I'm not going to tell you how to do these things now, because it's not what's important. You can just go and do a search. You'll find it very, very, the directions very, very simple. But the point is what you can do with these. So this is, I love this little example, because this is a small business whose staff were very concerned. They didn't want to be on video because they didn't want to say things, because, they forget what they're going to say. And they go, oh, you don't have to say anything. There's many ways that you can communicate visually. So this little thing, they wanted to see if they could get some extra reviews. So got little bits of cardboard and one little thing, and they stick a smile on your face, and there you go. And you can create a GIF out of this, and it just sits below your video email. So immediately people know, oh, there's actually humans behind this. So what we're doing is we're rehumanizing businesses that are being dehumanized by big data and artificial intelligence. So how do you do this? Look, it's really easy. You've got a smartphone. I know you have. I mean, you're living in the 21st century. You've got one. Unless you got a Nokia brick, all right, well, good on you. I mean, good on you for being the outlier there. You've got people, in your organization here. They don't have to say anything. They got smiles. We're all born with one of these, but we forget to use them. And all you need is about an hour. Even if you've never done this before and you've got to take some time of doing some Google searches, how to do this. Or go to Giphy. Jiffy, I don't know how to say it, jiffy.com/create/GIF maker. It's a free service. you can upload your short little video there and it'll turn it into a GIF, which is just one of these looping little pictures, and you just embed that into your email. Just if you don't know how to do that, go and search whatever your email provider is, server, and it'll tell you how to embed a GIF in there. And bingo, it's low risk because, I mean, it's just there. No one's going to, worry about, criticize your videos, and you can put any messages you want on those. So go have some fun with that. That's one way that you can, within an hour of coming off this session, be using video within your business. Here's idea number 2, V-mail or video mail. Now, it's something that most people have never heard of, but I reckon, I don't know how long, but I reckon within 5 years, everyone will just be talking about V-mail as we talk about email now. So all V-mail is just a way to send a video message easily and efficiently, just like you send a written message using email. So there's all these new apps that are coming out now. And so this is Jenny. Jenny works in our organization. Oh, we love Jenny. She's a real wag. And Jenny has got a donation that came in, a donation from Mark. It's been, comes up and been triggered in her system. Mark's made a donation. So what she could do, Jenny could just hit the auto reply, or the system just sends out the responder back to Mark. Hey, Mark, we really value your contribution. Or Jenny could do this. Jenny could go to one of these V-mail providers. Now, this is just the tip of a growing iceberg of what's coming out there. Bonjoro, Vidyard, Loom, BombBomb, and all these different companies. They're made for different size, for SME, to corporates, to industry levels. But the great thing about them is most of them, I would say almost all of them, have free starter plans. And it's amazing what you can do with the free starter plans. My favorite is Loom. So if you're wondering where to start, I use Loom probably a dozen times a day to send V-mail messages. And there's a whole lot of reasons. I'm not going to go into it now, but they've got a free starter plan. I'm still on the free plan. I don't need to pay. I reckon it's brilliant what they give you. So what Jenny does is she goes and she's downloaded Loom. Let's say she's downloaded Loom. And what that enables you to do is using your desktop and your webcam or your smartphone or your iPad, wherever you've got the app downloaded, you literally click a little button. I'm looking at mine there now. It's just a little icon. You click that and it opens up a few controls, which, once you've preset them, you just go record and it goes 3, 2, 1. And when you're looking at the camera, it just records this message. So Jenny could do a message to Mark. Hey, Mark, I just got you, just saw that we had a donation come from through to you. Thanks so much. That means the absolute world to us. And listen, mate, you have a lovely day. Okay, bye now. A message like that. But here's the thing. If you've got it triggered in your system, it takes you literally that long to make the message. It's very easy then to send it back to Mark because you can set your system up so it can go directly back to Mark. So you imagine Mark was just sitting there in his office and thought, yeah, I'll make a donation. And then about 2 or 3 minutes later, he hears ping on his phone and he opens it up and there's a video message from Jenny saying, hey, Mark, thanks so much for that donation. Customer relations knocks it out of the park. So this is all available for you now. So so Jenny would send that message would be triggered back to Mark. So if you've got teams and people there and you're going, oh yeah, how am I going to get them in to take this on board? This is how you start. You you use one of these, say Loom, and you make these little video emails, and as a test and a training ground, send them to dead leads. Now, if you've got donors you've been trying to re-engage and you've sent 3 or 4 emails and you've got nothing back and it's a dead lead, send a video message to them, because when they see it's a human on the other end going, hey, Dave, look, you might have missed the emails we sent before. We'd really love your donations. And look, maybe, it's not for you now and we're going to leave you alone, but thanks very much. Whatever the message is, if it's a human on the other end, it's amazing how this triggers people to start coming back. And I'm so sorry, you know, life gets really busy, but sure, look, you know, I'd love to, you know, get the donations in. So the key to doing this is that you don't make one. You've got to do 10 videos. So choose 10 leads, make 10 videos, because your first video, you're going to get on here and you're going to go, and it's all going to come out jumbled and you're going to feel awful. But by the 10th one, you're going to be getting into the rhythm of it and you go, oh, actually, this is pretty easy. So you've got to, you know, stick through and make 10. So that is another low risk way that you can get into the video game. So how much does that cost you? Well, again, you've got smartphones, you've got webcams, you've got people with smiles. To make one of those, once you get it set up, is everything, you know, got a minute. You know, you're dragging your feet if it takes you more than a minute to do it. And go to loom.com. Try with that. It's a fantastic way. And again, I just use the free service. I use that so many times every day. Oh, a couple of pro tips with that. All these video email services, they have something built into them, which is way better than email, and it's analytics. You know, when you send out an email to someone and you can tell you whether somebody's opened the email or they haven't, and that's sort of about it. You know, you don't get much more from that. With video, depending on the service that you get, it can tell you, yes, okay, someone watched the video, but it tells you that they watched 5 seconds of the video. Ah, they weren't interested. Or it tells you someone watched 99% of the video. Oh, they're really engaged. Or it can tell you that they rewatched that part of the video 3 times. Oh, they're very interested in that. Or it can tell you that they skipped those parts and only went to that part. This is really useful information to have, to know what the next step in your conversation with this customer or client is going to be. And the other thing is that it's very, if you start using these little messages to respond back to donors, these personal messages, don't upsell. Don't go, hey, Dave, look, thanks very much. We really appreciate that donation. And while I've got you here, you know, we're running this other program. And if you don't, don't do that. Don't do that. So you're going to build out, you can use these videos so easily because they're so easy to do. And you're going to build out a funnel and a conversation over time with these people. So, you know, this is, you know, keeping donors and customers for the long run. Idea number 3. Who are we videos? So this is Jenny again. Hey, Jenny. And Jenny's sitting there and she gets an inquiry in from Jane, and Jane wants some information about the organization, you know, who she might be donating to. Yeah. So Jenny, she could go, dear Jane, I'm sending you this information. Now, this example I'm showing to you now is an example I show to associations for them to help increase their membership, but I'm sure you can make the switch across to the fundraising industry. So Jane goes, I'm going to send you out this information. Now, this is the typical way that we do things. We just send words, you know, maybe some pictures to people. And, you know, what we all open our inbox and like, just glazed over the stuff. You see that many words, I'm not going to read it. So let's rewind. And here's another strategy. If you were to make up a web page on your organization's website, and on that very simple web page, and let's go, welcome, this is who we are. And then on that web page, you were to embed a number of simple little videos that you have made using a smartphone. If you've got big cameras, I'm not knocking big cameras. If you've got them, go use them. But if you don't have a big camera, you've already got a smartphone. You don't need to go out and buy anything. Got everything you need in here. Just a tip, a point. Did you know that the lenses on almost every smartphone camera are better than the lenses on the Hubble Space Telescope? Oh, yeah, you got something really powerful sitting on your desk right there. So you make these little videos up. And the little videos are going to be, say, 30 to 60 seconds long, and they're going to be from people within your organization. You can make a number of these pages up for different applications. But this one, if for this association, you'd have a little welcome video from the president, and then a little hello video from the person who's in the office and doing all the transactions back and forth, and then maybe a new member and a long-term member, and they just have a little, make a little simple video talking to the camera about what this organization means for them. And then down below, you can put a link to, more information. You've got to have a call to action in there somewhere. So let's just rewind and how could we use this page? So there's Jenny. She gets an inquiry from Jane, and this time she starts an email and she goes, Dear Jane, I just made this video for you. And then what Jenny does is she goes to her desktop, and she's already got Loom loaded in there, and she just clicks on the little preloaded web page she has there, and that page comes up. So that's actually showing on Jenny's desktop, and she opens the Loom app and just clicks the record. And when she does that, it puts a picture of Jenny on that page, and you can move this around and change all the shapes and the colors, but it'll go 3, 2, 1, and Jenny just records to the camera. Hi Jane, look, thanks for your inquiry. I'm sending all that information out, but also have a look at this web page because it's got a couple of quick videos. They're all under a minute each, but they're all from people within the organization, and you'll get a good feel whether you think that, this is a good fit. It won't take you long. Anyway, Jane, you have a lovely day. Okay, hooroo, bye. And she hits stop. When she hits stop, what Loom does is automatically generates a link for that video, and Jenny just puts it in the email and then hits send. So now when Jane gets the email, she's got other information there, but right at the top, it's got this link. I've made this video for you. She clicks on it. It just opens up in the browser, and here's Jane. Here's Jenny welcoming Jane and speaking to Jane one-on-one. I don't know if you don't think that is powerful to have someone do that to you. Maybe, have you experienced this? Because if you haven't experienced someone sending you a personalized video and speaking your name, you are, oh, good on you. You got something, a surprise coming up, because it's really powerful. So what does it cost to make that? Well, you could have a webcam, you could do it on your smartphone, a couple of people with smiles, probably to set all that up with the mucking around and getting the people to make the video. Let's just say a day that you'd allocate to that. And those videos, you don't have to pay. You can just upload them to YouTube on a free account and use that embed code, and you just make up your page, so that's free. But if you want to have a go at something paid, now I've been, so easy web video. It's the best I've found. If you want a professional service at the cheapest price, their simple plan is this, just simple. Everything's simple about it. There's no traps or anything. Just for $5 a month, they will host videos, professional players with all these other features, $5 a month. These people have been around since I started in about 2006 doing this online video stuff. And they've been overwhelmed by all these huge giants like Vimeo and Wistia, but they're still there. And so if you want a professional, easy way to get into, there you go, $5 a month. Ah, brilliant. So there you go. There's 3 ways that you can get into this video game straight away, using an email signature video, using Vmail, which by the way, we're all going to be using a heck of a lot more of this, or you could create the Who Are We videos. And I reckon you can be doing that very, very soon. So this is a situation we're in, just to wind up here. Out there right at the moment, you have customers, donors, demanding authentic human video. All the stats point to it. I could speak to you for a day on this, right? But that's what we want, and that's the way it's going. Yet in businesses, it's full of all these authentic humans just like you, and you got a smartphone and you got a webcam, but there's a barrier, and it's a huge opportunity out there, and you're missing on it. And I reckon the only thing that's missing, it's not the technology, it's a bit of training and support. And that's it. It's about getting that culture of change and getting people to have a go, because I've done this with many people and businesses, And once people just get over a whole lot of stuff that's in their head, they go, I thought it was different. Nah, it's not. It really is pretty straightforward. Come and join me on LinkedIn if you ever want to get some more information, get a conversation going, or you can find me at my website there. With that, I'm going to hand back to Nicola.